Hi everyone, I hope you can see me. Here is me, here Jijo again, Jesus in partnership with Josiane. As I promised that I will tell you how all this started, how I got instruction from God to start a YouTube channel. UTV is WTV. I will explain what everything means, why is W, but I think to tell you how my calling came, where my calling come from, I start with my testimony, what I passed through in life, because is the genesis of my what I'm doing now, being the voice for the voiceless, what God wants me to do on earth, how I got to get to know to my calling. I thought maybe it will be better to start with my testimony to take you to the journey of my testimony until now, until today. So as many might know, my name is Josiane. It's a French name, by the way. It's a French name, but here in Kenya, I'm called Josie. I think it's more easier, a shortening of my name. So let me start my journey because my journey starts with the genocide in Rwanda. The genocide occurred when I was 14 to 15. I was a young teenager in Rwanda. I born in a family, a very loving family, a big family though. We were 9 children. I was number 7. I was among the youngest. So when the genocide started in Rwanda, maybe I can take you a bit to the journey of the genocide, how it started, why the genocide happened in Rwanda. So in the years 1959, something like that, there are a group of Rwandese who freed the country, went to neighboring country. So those Rwandese, they wanted their right to come back inside the country, but the regime, what was in that time, didn't allow them to come inside the country. They say they had excuses. We have been grown, Rwanda is small, you better stay where you are, which is not fair. So they wanted to come back to the country. So those were a majority of Tutsis tribe. So after the revolution, after the monarchy is where they free the country. They went to neighboring countries. So the time came, they wanted to come back. They wanted their right to come back to their country. So they came back as rebels because they negotiated to come with peace, didn't work. So they said, you know what, we have to fight for our right. So in 1990 in October 1990 is where they came back inside the country, but as rebels, fighting for their right. Now, what happened to the Tutsi who were inside the country? We became enemies, or we became spies of those people, of those other Rwandese who were fighting for their right. I can say, yet we were innocent. We didn't know. Of course, we knew that it is their right. They have to, as we were for them, they have to come back inside the country. It's their country anyway. So, but what happened to us who didn't free the country? We became enemies of the country, or we became political or not political. With just being a Tutsi, you were enemies of the current regime who are ruling that time. We became enemies of the country. We were called the names that we are spy. We are one helping them. Though I acknowledge, maybe I will give you those details, which I got to know later on that my father was among their spies, their spy. So, and I will give those details later on, but it's something, me, as young as I was, I didn't know anything. So it's things I got to know. Yeah, yeah, you know that I got to know that my father, true, he was among the spy, but I got to know much later after the genocide. But now, from 19 to 94, Tutsis who were in the country, the life was so bad. We lived under pressure. It was hard to get a government school. It was hard for a Tutsi to get a job. It was hard for a Tutsi to get a fair medical treatment. So the life was not fair for us. Remember, being in politics or not, just being a Tutsi, it became a sin in that time. So now, long story short, it comes to genocide, 1994. It started in April. When the genocide started, the night where the flight of the president at the time, Habyarimana, fall, and they said, oh, now they must be those. No, the genocide, they've been preparing it from since 90, but we couldn't believe that they will kill people, like 1 million of Tutsi will be killed. We couldn't believe that that thing can happen. And for us, again, Tutsis who are inside the country, we had that hope that our people, they are fighting, they will come to liberate us, they will come on time. But we have seen people preparing genocide, but we couldn't believe. When I look now back then, I say, surely, why we couldn't see? Everything was prepared. But you know that the way you can see everything, but you don't want to believe it, is the status. Each Tutsi of the country was in that, because we have seen them preparing themselves, our neighbor prepare how to kill. They formed those groups among, they prepared the youth, how how they will kill Tutsis. They started telling the youth that Tutsis, they are enemies of the country, we have to kill them. But as to be honest, we couldn't believe that what happened will happen. That time we were in total denial. Now the genocide come 1994, April, where the flight of President Habyarimana fall, is where now that night everything came black and white. You are a Tutsi, you have to be killed. That night I couldn't forget that on our gate, a friend of my brother came. He was among all those groups of Hutus who were trying to kill Tutsi, but he was a good, faithful friend to my brother. The reason why I say all Hutus, they are not killers. All Hutus didn't do the genocide. Me, I am on that point. All Hutus, they were not bad. Though I believe that is a very bad spirit, demonic spirit came covered the country, because I have seen where a Hutu husband killed a wife and his children. You can't tell me that is just a hatred. No, it's just a demonic spirit that came inside the country that time. So that friend of my brother came to our gate, told us, you know what, we are planning that we early in the morning we come to kill your family. So my brother came back, he tell us what his friend told him. And then my mother, who has, oh my God, when I remember my mother, she was a Christian. She was a Christian. She was a Catholic, but a Christian. When I describe my mother, by the time I read the Bible, I read the Proverbs 31, I said, no, 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 that was my mother. That was my mother. Proverbs 31 woman. She was a mother who has faith in God. She was a mother who has, I have seen my mother, she was, maybe I will make another video just for her, because all quality of a human being, you can look in ethical human being. I have seen those quality in my mother's. So my mother said, you know what, let's believe in God. We will not be killed, but let's not stay here. in here in our house. Just everyone go to neighborhood, just go to knock. Was in the middle of the night. Go to knock to any neighbor who will open. You just ask a shelter for that night, just to see what will happen in the morning. So we just scattered. We just scattered. My brothers went to their friends. My sisters went to their friend. Me and my big sister and my young sister, we went to one family. So in the morning, like 6, we start hearing the bombs to my house, the grenade, they send all those. So they thought we were inside the house, but they didn't find nobody inside our house that night. They said, oh, you see, we knew those people were spy. They knew they are the one who killed our president Habyarimana. So, but now all Tutsis in the country, 7th April was a day where the nightmare started. They started killing the Tutsis, but my family, they didn't get anyone for that day. So they obviously they knew, because they have seen us the day before, the previous day. They knew that we were through. We were not far. They knew that we were not far. So they started now threatening the neighbors. Hey, you people who are hiding, those people, get to know that those people, they are enemies of the country. If we are collaborating of those people, you will be killed. You know, now threatening the neighbor, they start being, yeah, scared. I understand them. They say, whoever who will find that you are hiding those people, those enemies of the country, those Tutsis, you are becoming automatically enemy of the country. Now the neighbor got scared. Those who had mercy on us, they got scared. Now they say, you send them in that house, but now our house on 7th of April was burned down. They burned our house, all our belongings. They are burned the house down. Now they give them an option of to send us to one house of my uncle who was burned as well, but half burned. My uncle had moved to another neighborhood like 3 weeks before. Now his house was burned, half burned. And so we are sent, everyone sent, we were sent to that house. I met, like after 1 week, I met my mother, I met my brothers. Everyone was coming, looking, I'm still alive, I'm still alive. Up to that date, nobody of my household was killed. So 18th now, you know, the neighbor were coming to visit us. We are sorry. What happened to those the youth? You know, now everyone becoming hypocritical. Hypocrisy. I have seen hypocrisy in Rwandese. I'm sorry to say that, but you know, no one wanted to be responsible of what is happening to Tutsis. And those who were just being men, they came to my mother. They say, you know what? We would like to prevent you guys. We would not like to kill you because you were a good friend to ours, but now we are having governmental order. We have to execute the order. We are killing the Tutsis. It's not us, it's the government. We are obeying the rule of the government to kill you people. What? You know, we were just in a powerless situation, because I have seen, as I told you, my mother, she was a very good Christian in neighborhood. By the way, me, I grew up when we had altar in our house, a room just for altar. When we had, she was a very good Catholic. When we had a portrait of Mary Mother, many of our neighborhood just came to pray in our house. I know myself. Since I was young, every 6 p.m. we had to kneel down just for a rosary. So all our neighbors, I saw Many people come to cry to my mother. My mother pray for them. Those who didn't have some, I saw my mother being a voice in Catholic church for those who couldn't afford the school fees. My father, he's among the people who had a very, a very old Peugeot, very old Toyota, but was a car. So I have seen the car of my father being like a ambulance to those people. But I couldn't imagine those people, they are the one now against us. Those who are willing to kill us. Anyway, long story short, 18th of April, where the majority of my family has been killed. Now we are living in that house of my uncle. The neighbor brought us food. There are some neighbors good Hutus. As I say, all Hutus, they are not killers, please. All Hutus, they are not killers. All those demonic attack that came to my country didn't come to all Hutus. They are good Hutus. In fact, my young sister, she was hidden with Hutus until the genocide finished. So all Hutus, they are not killers. All Hutus, they were not bad. Anyway, 18th of April, we had the voices of them, now the group of Interahamwe. That group that was killing called themselves Interahamwe. Is a Kinyarwanda calling. So now the meaning of that name, Interahamwe, they are people who work together. Yeah, they work together. Yeah, is the meaning of that group, of that name. So we had them coming from like far. They had that habit of coming, singing where they are going to work for their work to kill. They coming as together, singing motivational, their songs for their motivational songs. So they came towards us. Now we saw them from far. And my mother, who was a very good believer, the last voice I hear from my mother, she said to us, everyone, just carry your rosary. Those who can run, just run. Me being a teenager, I couldn't believe that I thought maybe they're just coming to talk to us. But me, I said, you know what? They are coming to kill me anyway. Because the 1 week we stayed in that house, no, from 7th to 18th, it's more, yeah, like 10 days. We stayed in that house. We used to hear stories. Oh, that family, they are all killed. That uncle of yours, two people survived. They don't know where they are. That the people, do. And then my mother was telling us, the day they will come, you just run. You just run. You never know. Imagine I am survived because of that. Me and my brother and my young sister, we decided, you know what? Let me just run. Anyway, they're coming to kill me anyway, they're coming to kill me. But let them sweat before they kill me. At least they sweat before they get to me. So my brother, myself, and my other young sister, we were under 18. It means we didn't had the national ID. So we just ran. They saw us running. But they say, oh, those young ones, we'll go for them later on. Imagine, just because of stress, maybe because of we don't know where to go, me and my young sister, we went to hide in the house of one of genocide perpetrators who was in the group coming to kill my family. We went in his house. We stick inside his house. He was a man who didn't have children. Him and his wife, they didn't got children. So his wife was a very good friend to my mother. Very good friend to my mother. They used to wake up 5 a.m. going to the mass of a Catholic mass. Every 5 a.m. they went together. She was a very good friend to my mother, by the way. And then we stick in his house. me and my young sister, under the bed. Yet we didn't know that the man of the house, he was the one leading the people going to kill my family. So me and my sister, we were confused. Was in neighborhood like let's say 500 meters from where I left my family. So now we didn't know. So what I had to get to know that is my mother begged to them, we beg for mercy. They give them an excuse that we is not us. Take us that a governmental order. Yeah, we are just obeying the country. We are just working, doing what we are asked to do. We would not like to kill you, but now we are going to kill you. But because we were a very good neighbor to us, you deserve a luxury death. By the way, I thank them. A luxury death, it means a bullet. A bullet. My family are killed with a bullet. It means my 5 siblings and my mother who were left there. They were killed with a bullet, and I thank God it's a luxury death because the majority of Rwandese they are killed with machete. They slaughtered them. The other one they are burned. The other one they are was a very bad death. The reason why I say was not normal. What happened to Rwanda that time was was I believe it was it was a demonic attack that came to my country. It was not normal. I can't imagine where a husband could kill his own children, a father could kill his his wife and own children because they had Tutsis blood. You see, that is not normal. A normal person who is not possessed with demonic spirit can't do it. Because, by the way, after the genocide, when you ask them what they did, it's like they came back. They said, I couldn't imagine what I did. Those who are jailed, when you talk to them, when you ask them, they ask you, they told you, me, I can't imagine what happened, what was in my mind. So, me, was a demonic attack, a very bad demonic attack. So, now now after I told you that I went with my sister to hid in one among the genocide perpetrator who were reading the group went to kill my mother. After like let's say 2 to 3 hours, he came back to his house. He didn't know that we are in his house. Now he starts telling his wife the story of his work, how his work was. It was around like 5 p.m., 4 p.m. But we had the sound of bullet. But up to where I was hiding under the bed of that genocide perpetrators, I couldn't. I didn't. I was in denial. No, 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 no. That can't be them. Yet we had the number of bullets because I knew the people I I left behind. So, but I had the number of bullets. I say no, 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 can't be them. So we were in denial until that man came back to his house to tell his wife how the journey was of the work. So we killed is how I remember like yesterday how he gave the report to his wife. We killed your friend's household. We killed them. Though we couldn't get 3 children, but we killed the rest of them. Those people were the enemy of the country. So remember, I am hiding under the bed in another room. The wife didn't know that we are inside the house. We got to know that news through that man. And now we are not entitled to cry or to do anything. I just shut the mouth of my sister who wanted to cry, who wanted to burst. I just shut her mouth. I said, shh, we will get the time to mourn if we survive. Please shut up your mouth to get out of that house as soon as possible. Now we couldn't cry. I couldn't imagine my mother and my siblings. Are they buried? Who will bury them? We couldn't cry. I was 15. I was so confused. What can I help? What can I do at least to bury them? And then he said, oh, we are giving the order of those people, the neighbor are coming, those good Hutus. They are the one who went to cover my mother and my siblings and to bury them. And they were buried in our compound, in our house. And so in the night came, me and my sister stick out of that house before they rock their house again. And now the man went to the night shift. So we stick out to that house to look for another neighbor who might think, another Hutu neighbor who might have mercy on us. We went to that neighbor. They received us. They told us, I'm sorry, we buried your family. And I hope they will not come for you guys because they're killing all people in neighborhood. At least that neighbor give us the food, give us the shelter for that night. They told us another uncle of mine, they didn't kill another uncle of mine because of, they gave another uncle who was a neighbor to us, because they gave us the order to bury first his sister and his nephew. They said, we still have time, just bury them, organize how we are going to bury them, we will come to you, because we didn't even find all those children for that family. We didn't find everyone. You guys will come to you later on, we are still busy. So or maybe I didn't tell you how my father was not killed. So in genocide, when it started in 1990, I told you they said that the Tutsi who were inside the country were the major enemy or were the spy. So the target of that time, they wanted to jail all men inside the country. So my father tried to free the country with a friend, Eugene. I will never forget you. I am always thankful for you. He's the one who drove my father to Burundi. So it means from 90 to 94, my father was in Burundi with one of my sister. So the one who survived, of course, because she was not inside the country. So now in the genocide, we are just hiding. We started the hiding life. We were hiding in the bushes. We were hiding in different neighbors. We wanted to make sure we had like 3 neighbors. We couldn't stay long to a Hutu neighbor household, because we didn't want to be spotted. Or maybe they could get a visitor to spot us. Again, the neighbors didn't want to put themselves inside the troubles. But those Hutu neighbors, they knew that we were hidden in the bushes. We could stick in the night to go to their house just to eat. Like after 3 days, they could bring us like a tea. They could, of course, we survived because of 3 months we survived because of the good Hutu neighbors who knew that we were hanging around in the bushes. In the night we came to their house, maybe we could take a shower after 2 weeks. They give us the food, maybe like after 4 days they could give us like a porridge. Just we started that life of hiding, but because again we were younger, we were under 18, we were not priority of that time. Of course, the Interahamwe of the Marys, they knew that we are around. It means they knew that the day they will come for us, they couldn't miss us. They knew that we are in the neighborhood. So since we are not a priority, they were busy killing many people as we are not a priority. But they give us a deadline of we are give the July which date? There is a deadline. You know now those radio, they said we are asking all those Tutsis that July what? July 6, July 7 is the deadline of all Tutsis, even now the younger ones in the country to be killed. But we thank God is where now the time of genocide. Now the rebels, they are coming to try to fight, to come to us to fight, to try to stop the genocide. They were trying to stop the genocide. They were doing their best, but unfortunately, many places when people were killed already, my family included. But there are many people who are saved because they where they were, especially those people, because we were in Kigali, the main city. The main city is the one that is. They took the main city at the last. They started on the surrounding city or another counties or another part of the country. But as who many people who had been killed, I think the majority was the people in Kigali, the main city, because they are is the one that is they took the main city at the last, Kigali. So just like 2 or 3 days before the deadline we were given is where the capital city has taken. So is how we have survived. Now those Interahamwe, they flew now. Now was their time to free the country, to go. Majority of them went to Congo, and the majority of them, they went to Congo. The one who stayed in the country now was jailed because of what they just did, killed the people. Was hard. We have survived. Is where now we start realizing what that 3 months was. We couldn't imagine that in 3 months, what just happened after the genocide. We said, no, is it true? Is my mother died? But in a genocide, we couldn't mourn. We have no time to mourn because we know we will die anyway. We will go to them. Me was my hope, by the way. Me was my hope that there is a time came. I said, I am tired with that life of hiding. We got malaria. We got, because the night in bushes, mosquitoes, diarrhea. We had to vomit. The time came when I was just tired. I say, you know what? I wish they can come just to kill us, to finish us. The life was becoming very hard. The life in bushes, hiding. Yes, yet you know you are innocent. Hiding for what? Being a Tutsi. We didn't choose to be. We didn't choose to born Tutsi. We didn't do anything. We are not. Me, I said that's not fair. I don't deserve that life. Anyway, the time came after the genocide. Now, after the genocide, the country was in confusion. We wanted to know who survived in that household, who survived among my cousins who survived in, but the majority of my mother's family, they were killed. My father's family, I couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine. I had my younger brother, my uncle. He had 10 children. 2 children survived. So now, after the genocide, the country was in confusion. I remember I used to meet someone, and then they say, "Hey, you survived. Where were you? Where did you hid yourself? How about the rest of your family? How about of what? How about of what?" So again, after the genocide, we were in denial. I said, no, 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 no. Maybe I am dreaming. First of all, I'm dreaming. I will wake up. I had like things like 2 weeks. I went to bed. I said, no, let me go to bed, having a very deep sleep. I know when I wake up, I will find out that it was a dream. There is that kind of a denial that came. That and then my father come from Burundi. He find that the majority of his family was killed. Of course, he starts that widow life, which was not easy to raise us with our cousins. He's now the one who was surviving among the parents. Yeah, that was my life. Part two, I will tell you the part two of my testimony. I will tell you the life after the genocide, how the life was after the genocide, and I will keep sharing my testimony again, from my sorrow of life, from what I passed through the life. Is where coming my calling, is where coming that calling of being the voice of the voiceless. But it's a long testimony. It's a long testimony. Part two, I will continue my testimony, and I know I will share my journey up to now. Thank you. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord bless everyone who will hear that testimony. Is my prayer to you. It's just blessing from above. Thank you. Bye.